Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about Futmas and how we can make pre-Futmas preparations in our Ultimate Teams right now before Futmas could be coming up the end of this week. I have some investments here for the end of the week along with Player of the Month type stuff, as you guys have seen on the transfer list already. So I haven't really invested for Futmas other than I have my club stacked with gold players and I have a good chunk of discard informs on my transfer list. Now, we haven't heard anything official about Futmas. That's why I'm still kind of leery when I'm talking about this Futmas promotion. Obviously you guys know what Futmas is. Last year we got tons of player SBCs. Discard informs rose, the 83s and the 84s rose a lot, and there were plenty of ways to make coins during Futmas off of gold cards and other things that were needed for SBCs. Again, the discard informs, but also there's a lot of money to be made on, link investments to those discard informs. So that's something I want to talk about today as well. As we're looking at some other informs here, like all these Langs that I have on my transfer list, I bought them around 11 to 12,000 coins, and goodness gracious, this man is up in the hype to about 15k. That's pretty good, but I think I'm going to hold on to mine even longer. I have a bunch on the transfer list. I want to hold on those through Futmas, and I have a bunch in my club too. But what I want to take a look at right now is I want to go over to Futbin, and I want to take a look at a few very meta players from last year and how their prices reacted during Futmas. So we're looking at it basically past team of the week informs that were meta, that were used by a lot of people last year in Fut. So first one here I want to take a look at is Blaze Matuidi, and if we go down here and take a look at his graph, this is Black Friday. He was in the team of the week about a month before Black Friday. He dropped, he rebounded big time after Black Friday, and basically we're about right here. So the market is still pretty high. A lot of these cards have been sold off a little bit. That's why maybe you saw this weekend where some card prices went down a little bit. A lot of the gold prices have gone down some, but I think it can keep going down. And then basically what you see here with this big drop off is Futmas started last year on the 15th, so this is just panic from Futmas, and it reached its lowest point on Tuesday and Wednesday before kind of rebounding for a weekend league on Friday. So I think we could see a similar situation to that this year. But I think it's going to be a little bit different, and I want to talk through that in just a bit. But as we go through Futmas, you see his price was pretty much the same. It didn't go, little dips, little highs and lows there, but nothing too major. Stayed low until after Team of the Year, and then finally recovered a little bit until it started dropping off for the rest of the year when FIFA was basically just dead. One other card I want to look at is Leon Goretzka, and as we look at him here, this was a very meta card last year. Tons of people used this card, and maybe comparable to like the Fabinho of this year, just on comparing to how much people use him. So here you can see he went down to about 220. This is January. Okay, here we go. So we have Futmas, which starts right here. If I could blow the graph up, I would, but I don't want to take the time to do that. So he drops from 230k, 240 to 200, stays pretty even, and then after Team of the Year, you can see he goes up big time until he gets another inform. But basically what we saw this week was the start of a little bit of a sell-off with some of these cards, and we're looking at past Team of the Week meta cards. We're looking at cards that people want to use in their ultimate teams, and cards that link well with other, people have red cards, other Team of the Week cards that are out. So how do we kind of judge a situation on these past Team of the Week cards? I think you're still able to sell them right now at a decent price. My worry with this promotion would be that we get some type of teaser like we did for Team of the Group Stage, and then we start getting a panic sell into the weekend. So basically, if we do get a panic sell going into the weekend, this is how I think it would look like. Let's say Futmas gets announced on Thursday. So on Thursday they do a loading screen, kind of a teaser for Futmas. Let's say they launch something like that, and let's say it says 20 hours until Futmas is coming. We're like, okay, we know Futmas is coming, we know what's going on with that promotion, we know when to start selling, and we know when it's coming. Basically, that's what I'm getting at. That's when you'll start to see the panic selling. It's basically going to be the same thing that we saw this week with Team of the Group Stage. You're going to start seeing people start to sell off their clubs in preparation for this Futmas event. And what happens this year with sell-offs is they are very drastic and they are very intense, and they're only about 1 day, or they're a short amount of time. So I think back to a couple times early on in the year when we had the UCL SBCs, the repeatable ones, come out right away. You saw the market drop to its lowest about 2 to 3 hours, or even an hour and a half after that SBC was first put out, because that's the time that it takes for everybody to see the new content, realize that they need more coins, sell their stuff, and then they want to sell it quickly to do the new content, to partake in the new content. So they undercut people and undercut so they can get their coins. They really don't even care what they're selling for. They're just selling to get their coins. So on a meta card like this Ben Yedder card, who's one of the most used cards in FIFA, let alone one of the most used inform cards in FIFA, you can look for a panic sell on this card coming up either this Friday before the Weekend League, or whenever the Futmas announcement is dropped. So let's say they announce Futmas on Thursday with a loading screen with a tweet, you know, Futmas is coming in 24 hours. You can watch the market kind of panic sell. It won't go crazy, but you just have to monitor each player's price, and you'll kind of watch the market go down in the panic sell. But then when Friday actually comes, that's when there will be more panic selling with the official start of the promotion, depending on what the content is. And so far in years past, the Futmas content has been pretty good. So I hope that this year they come out with some good SBCs, and then what we'll look to do from then is, you know, invest in complementary goods. Basically, you've heard people say complementary goods. That basically means link investments. So we're talking about cards that are out of packs, cards that are very usable and very you know, people want to use those cards. So obviously you have the right forward Messi. I think that's going to be a card people are going to want to use, because so far all of his other cards have been center forward. We'll see if he gets informs in the future with a right forward position or right wing position. But I mean, even on the level of gold players, you have a guy like Kyle Walker, who will probably even get panic sold, but still will be able to be invested in because he is the best right back in the Premier League. He gets the English links and the city links to a lot of people that, you know, like Sterling, if we get a player of the month Sterling, which I'll mention a little bit about that at the very end. But again, I think during this Futmas period, we're going to be looking for a few things. We're going to be looking to exploit the gold cards, the rises and the falls of the 83s through 88s, 89s, depending on when we get icon SBCs, depending on when we get these Futmas SBCs that require higher rated squads, because they could easily drop, you know, maybe they drop like a 90 rated Futmas card, like a 90 rated, I'm just trying to think of an example, a 90 rated Pogba. Let's say they drop a 90 rated Pogba Futmas card. People would go insane for that card, and that SBC is going to have to run you somewhere around 400,000 to 500,000 coins, because right now his base card is even right about 350, 360, maybe 380, somewhere in there. But that would be an SBC. If we get an SBC like that, like an 89 or a 90 rated Pogba, that's where you're going to see people just drop whatever they're doing, and you're going to see a major panic on that day. So Futmas is all about being ready. It's about getting in and getting out, especially with the gold cards. If you buy a bunch of gold cards beforehand, which is a very viable thing to do if you want to go on a sign and you want to stack the 83s and the 84s, more power to you. I probably won't be doing that myself. I'll be putting them, maybe a few on the transfer list, but most of them just in the club, and saving the transfer list like for informs and for other investments like that. But if you want to go all in on the 83s, 84s, 85s when they get a cheap price, which they were very cheap this weekend, I think that's a pretty decent shout. And basically what you're going to want to do with those cards is sell them at the very first opportunity you have, because here's why. You may have heard other people talk about this already, but last year when Futmas came out, the first SBC that came out was a pretty good one, so people wanted to do it. And this happened in prior years as well, FIFA 17, I think. Everybody still has these cards invested in, so yes, there is the possibility of over-investing, but those SBCs that they dropped right away, they dropped multiple different kinds of SBCs, so the demand was very heavy right away with a very good player to start with. And the fact that, you know, people wanted to start off Futmas by doing the player SBCs, so those players rose up in price, and then the day later, for the next set of SBCs, they dropped back down because I forget if it was either packs or it was a higher rated than even a higher rated SBC. So when you see your player prices up, when you see them up, like let's say you're buying Lucas Lievas for 1,500 coins on bid and he hits 2.5K the first day of Futmas. I mean, you might be thinking, yeah, it's only 1,000 coins a card, but if you have 100 of those cards, that's some pretty good money. And you think, okay, maybe later in the promotion he might end up hitting 4K for a certain SBC that comes out that everybody would want to do. That is a possibility, but you got to think about what could be coming, and just the fact that in this type of market, the way the market has been this year, you always want to take the guaranteed profit because you don't want to rely on EA Sports, FIFA, the provider of our game, to release quality content or to upgrade price ranges or anything like that. We don't like relying on EA because it's not in our hands then, it's in their hands. We want things to be in our hands. When we see things move, we want to take advantage of that. And oh my gosh, I just missed this Alba on bid for 111. That's an insane bid. I gotta watch the other one. But anyway, that's what I'm just saying. If you're investing in golds, which I think is a good look for Futmas, make sure that you take the guaranteed profit, and then when you notice an area or a window to reinvest, so let's keep using Lucas Lieva for an example. Let's say right now he's 1.7K, he goes up to 3K and you sell, and then 2 days later he's back down at 1.5 to 1.7K. You can just dive right back in and pick up a bunch of Lucas Lieva because if the promotion is structured again as it has been in years past, he will again shoot up in price, especially if he's Brazilian and in a good league. You know, the links like that really pay out, especially if they were to have a Brazilian Futmas SBC that required a Brazilian card with an 83 or 84 rated squad. Something like Lucas Lieva, somebody like that would go flying in price. But again, I think this weekend, if you're investing for weekend league rewards, just to be safe, make sure you sell before Thursday at 6 p.m. UK. Make sure you get out of whatever you have, whatever you're wanting to buy. Make sure you flip and complete those flips and trades before then, because we want to be liquid for Friday just in case that comes, and just in case maybe icon SBCs come. We're not sure about player of the months. That's one thing I can touch on really fast. Some people think that player of the month might be coming out this morning when I drop this video. So this video will go live early in the morning my time, middle of the day UK. And people are thinking that player of the month might drop today. If it does, which I'm honestly hoping it doesn't, because I want more time for my investments to rise in the hype, honestly, since I have 20 informed Barclays right here. But just be ready. So if you do have some of those investments, like I have some Sterlings on my transfer list, he's up to 24K already, and I'm thinking about maybe possibly unloading those tonight because I'm making 6K a card, and you know, you can't complain with 6K a card, especially on a gold card investment like Sterling. So I'll probably list a few of those overnight. If they sell, great. And then we'll be ready for player of the month possibly on Tuesday, but also team of the week coming out. It looks to be very good. I do have 5 team of the week packs stored up. I will be opening those in a video for you guys to watch, along with any other, if we get like a team of the group stage SBC or anything like that, I'll open up some packs for you guys in a video. But again, Futmas is coming. Get your clubs ready. If you don't want to invest in gold cards, which I know a lot of people don't, make sure you stack your club and just fill up your club with those cards so that you have them if you want to do SBCs, or just an easy way to throw some cards away and sell them when they're inflated. Get some discard informs and start brainstorming complementary investments, and take note of who is very popular and very used in this game. A guy like Jordi Alba has gained a lot of popularity recently because of the pro event. People used his UZL card a lot, and of course you need to think about these road to the final cards, as they are going to get upgraded soon. People are going to want to put them in their squads, and so those are going to be very interesting to watch as well. But if you enjoyed this video and you're hyped for Futmas, smash a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're going to be posting videos throughout Futmas the entire time. You know, looking at what's gone up, what's gone down, how can we invest, quick ways to get in and out of the gold market, and to work around certain requirements, and of course our weekly market outlook, weekend league investing and flipping videos. But it's been Nate, the Foot Accountant. Catch you guys later. Peace.